Coming up in this episode of Truck Stop TV.
It's a 77. Originally it was a 285 in it, which we blew up. We run a fleet of mostly Max and a few Volvos as well.
G'day, it's Michael from Melbourne Hydraulics. I've got my 1983 Mack MCR 8x4 here.
I'm Philip Lamb from Bendigo. Come down to the 2024 Mack Muster here at Kyabram with my 1981 cruise liner.
Now let's get into it.
Wes Bird from Bendigo, Victoria, here at the Mack Muster. We brought a few trucks down. We've got a quarry and concrete, landscaping and sand and soil business in Bendigo and Central Victoria. We run a fleet of mostly Max and a few Volvos as well. Brought 6 down today. One that we're in front of is the first truck that the old man bought, or first Mack truck that the old man bought in the early 80s. And bought it second hand out of Ballarat. It was a tipper originally, just doing tipper work, and we converted it to a tipper and prime mover. So it used to cart our crushers around Victoria and New South Wales doing mobile crushing work. We sort of probably retired the truck about 10 or so years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, and restored it back to what it is today. 77. Originally it was a 285 in it, which we blew up and we took it out to a 310. It's just got the 5-speed twin stick, a gearbox in it. Yeah, we did the restoration pretty well ourselves in Bendigo, all the mechanical stuff, and then we had local painter that painted it up, and local guy, Bill May, done all the sign writing and that for us as well. So we've sort of, this one started the theme, I guess. Originally it was green, but our colours are all the blue and the whites. So we've sort of kept that theme running throughout the rest of the older stuff. Some of the other ones, we've got the Superliner that we've had for 10 or 15 years as well. It is a 82. So we've always sort of been Mack enthusiasts. After the old man bought this one, the opportunity came up to buy that one, so we bought that one and put it back into our colours as well. It's got a 440 V8 in it, the original motor. We bought the truck off Jason Jones. He'd actually restored it, had a tipper on it as well. Didn't have the bunk on it. We were lucky enough to get in contact with the guy that Jason sold the bunk to. We bought the bunk back, put it all back together. It was originally a Joe Brummage fuel truck that was done in the gold with the blue stripe, which is a bit different to what apparently Brummages typically ran. They were usually blue with a gold stripe. So I think there was only 3 that I know of that were the reverse of his colours. So the LT is only just recently, pretty new for us. We're still going through the restoration of that truck, and we'll put that one back to work. And we've got the 100 year that we bought. So we started the business, Allstone Quarries, in 1999. The business goes back beyond that though. We celebrated 50 years in 2022. So we were lucky enough to get the year 1999 in the 100 year. So we've done that one up in the colours. The Superliner is just our float truck. It's just does all our heavy haulage and stuff. And this is probably the latest addition. We bought this one just as a bit of a project, just to have around the quarry, and just something that's a little bit different.
G'day, it's Michael from Melbourne Hydraulics. I've got my 1983 Mack MCR 8x4 here. It was originally owned by Cleary Brothers as a concrete pumper. So the story goes, Cleary Brothers finished up with it in 2014, I believe, and a guy by the name of Alan purchased it from Cleary Brothers, or swapped it for an engine or something, the way the story goes. Anyway, Alan got sick and his trucks had to be shifted on, so I ended up purchasing from Neville Story up in Ulladulla. And I think about 2016, my brother and I, we travelled up to Ulladulla sight unseen and saw it and purchased it off Neville Story, and we drove it back from Ulladulla to Keysborough in Victoria. So it was a long drive. It could only do a top of 80 k's per hour. Being bobtail was pretty rough ride. So as you can imagine with Victoria's roads. And yeah, so we got it back to Keysborough and just done a few little things on it, put some new guards on it. Wasn't really much to do to it. It does have rust in the rails, so That's probably the only downside to it. So at some point I'll probably re-rail it, or we'll try and work out something for that. But otherwise, it's got a 237 Mack engine in it with a 10-speed maxi torque transmission, and diff ratios I think are 5.6 something thereabouts. Just a metro truck, so didn't really have to go too fast. So yeah, no, she's a good old girl, yeah, and I quite enjoy it.
I'm Philip Lamb from Bendigo. Come down to the 2024 Mack Muster here at Kyabram with my 1981 cruise liner with a 350 and 12 speed in it. It's something I've restored about 2.5 years ago. Purchased it from Queensland, know the whole history of it, and was originally built for Dennis Ashard in Foster, I believe, in New South Wales. So on Friday, met a chap and he knew the truck because I didn't have the first bit of history on it, and he knew Dennis Ashard, so he rang him and they sent a photo through of it in Mack in Sydney when it was brand new. Very well looked after. I never touched the interior and all that. Yeah, we've done quite a few truck shows now with it. Did the trailer up about 6 months ago. The colour is a bronze. It's actually a 1981 Commodore colour that I picked out. We were looking for a sort of a bronze, and we had a couple of samples done. Weren't quite right. So the lady in Bendigo, she bought out a card, wiped the dust off it, and that was the colour. So yeah, retired now. I did grain. Had 3 trucks on grain, so I just enjoy doing my trucks. And I've got a V8 cruise liner at home, which have started. Have the full history of that as well. Yeah, it took me 40 years to get one, so I love them. Yeah, like they didn't make that many of them. 272. So yeah, they're sort of a bit different.
Truckstop TV. Remember to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you at the next truck stop.